Back, students. Let's continue with the first chapter. Now, the next topic is interpretation of topographical or topo sheets. Now, the study or interpretation of a topo sheet can be done under the following heads. Okay, number one is marginal information, which includes name of the topo sheet, number of the topo sheet, area shown on the topo sheet, area covered by the topo sheet, and that is in square kilometer, then the latitudinal and longitudinal extent of the topo sheet, extent of the grid, scale of the topo sheet, special information if there are any. Okay, number two is relief features and drainage. So under that includes contour interval on the topo sheet, physical divisions on the topo sheet, description of relief features in each physical division, then major landforms, what all landforms are present there, right, and their location also, then drainage patterns, prominent water bodies that are present, general slope of the area, whether it's gentle, right, or is steep, then the gradient and direction of important rivers. Number three is prominent land uses, which includes various types of natural vegetation present there, then distribution pattern of natural vegetation, major types of possible land uses, major occupations possible in the region or the main source of livelihood such as lumbering, livestock raising, farming, mining, industries, etc. Number four is means of transport and communication, which includes different means and communication includes different means of transport and communication as shown on the topo sheet. Okay, it can be tracks, footpaths, roads, railways, telegraph, telephone lines, and post offices. Then next is correlation between topography and the means of transport and communication. Number five, the human settlements include urban and rural settlements. We studied about it, their size and their location, settlement patterns, special activities associated with the urban centers. And what are the special activities? They can be industries or mining or activities related to trade, okay, administrative and defense activities. Next is density and pattern of the rural settlements, and the last one is it helps in finding the land use and the major occupations carried out there. Now next topic is they have given the profile of survey map. This is one survey map, okay, that is 45D by 7. Now 45D by 7 survey map, it includes the description of the area. Okay, it is a description of the area covered by survey sheet number 45D by 7, and the states are Gujarat and Rajasthan, and the district for this is Banaskantha and Sirohi. Location latitude 24 degree 20 minutes north, longitude 72 degree 25 minutes east. Now this region, it lies in the western India on the borders of Rajasthan and Gujarat at the southern end of the Aravalli Hills. Okay, Aravalli Hills, and immediately northeast of sheet 45D by 10. So this is another sheet, okay, that is 45D by 10. Now the relief features of the survey map 45D by 7 are, now the area is mainly plain except for the east central region where the hills, they rise to almost 500 meter, okay, and the lower hills of the northeast corner in that direction where the land slopes from northeast to southwest in the northern half and east to west in the southern portion of the map. Now drainage, the Banas River, okay, and do not be confused with the Banas River, which is a tributary of the Chambal River to the north. Now this Banas River flows into the swampland area of the Little Run northeast of the Gulf of Kutch, okay, and on this survey sheet it flows westward in westward direction, and it has numerous smaller streams. So Banas River, it has numerous smaller streams, and the left bank tributary is the Balaram Nadi from the southeast. Now the Banas River, it varies in width from 1/4 kilometer to over 1 kilometer. Okay, 1 kilometer, and has a narrow perennial water course. Narrow, okay, it's not wide, and perennial means water is available there throughout. And the dry portion fills in during the rainy season, and the portion which remains dry, it is filled with water during the rainy season. Next is natural vegetation. Now natural vegetation, first is the hilly areas, so dry deciduous type of forests, okay, of small trees are present. Plains, scrub and thorny trees where there is no agriculture, okay, so no agriculture there, only scrub and thorny trees are there. And irrigation, what is the means of irrigation there? Now this region is dependent on the periodic rainfall, that is the monsoons, tanks and wells for their agriculture, for water supply, okay, they are dependent on monsoons, tanks and wells. Now what are the occupations carried out there? So the occupations are agriculture and rearing of cattle, sheep, camels and horses. Next we move on to communications. Now communications, except for the main line of the Western Railway there and the road that runs across the southeast corner of the map through Chitrashini, there are no other important communication. So Western Railway and the road that runs across the southeast corner. So they are the two means of communication there, and all other settlements, they are linked by cart tracks. Last is settlements. What type of settlements are there? Except for Chitrashini, which is a railroad center, all the settlements are small and widely scattered. So scattered type of settlement, chiefly in the lowland area, and are either nucleated or dispersed in pattern. So their pattern is either nucleated or they are dispersed. Now, so we come to the end of the chapter. Okay, read the chapter thoroughly, and thank you so much.